Hey everybody, it's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable weekend. And remember what I always say, no matter what's going on, if you haven't had a good weekend, if you haven't had a good month, maybe your year has been challenging, somewhat like mine, where you're marking progress in certain areas, and then there are certain areas where things are just not going the way you want them to go. And that's life. It's going to happen. But remember what I tell you. And that's why I can feel good about what I tell you, is because I live what I talk about. I'm not just telling you something and then I'm doing something different. I tell you all the time that if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. And I've lived my life based on that creed, is I will not give up. I will not turn around. I will not relent. I will not surrender. I will not retreat. As long as I'm breathing, I'm still in the fight. This year has thrown some curveballs at me that I was not prepared for, that I definitely didn't want to deal with, but that's life. I got up, I dealt with it, I moved forward, and here, when I get one out of the way, here comes another one. That's called a storm. You've heard me talk about those things. You are going to have storms that come into your life. The one thing of many that my great-grandfather, my adopted father, the man who made the most impact on my life, would tell me, he said, you're either going into a storm, or you're coming out of one. He said, don't get caught up in how you got there, who did what, who's at fault, all that. You need to be aware so you don't make the mistake again, but that's not the focus. The focus is your responsibility. Your number one responsibility when you enter into a storm is to make sure you exit that storm a better man than the one that entered it. And that's what storms do. They shape you, they grow you, they strengthen you, they open you, they make you focus. That's what it is. And so all I did is engage the storm with an understanding that I'm getting better, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting wiser. Certain things that I looked at and I realized, hey, this is simply the shaping of who I am. I had to go through a point of rediscovery, of understanding who I was and the impact that I have and what makes me remarkable, what makes me exceptional, what makes me extraordinary, what makes me phenomenal. And then I had to start walking and living like it, because I tell you, what'll happen is you'll get so banged up by life, you'll start to believe the lesser. You'll start to believe your circumstances instead of your purpose. You'll start to believe your situations instead of your destiny, instead of your identity. And you have to stop and you have to look at what you are, who you are, why you are, and then remind yourself that you're built for it. And that's what I had to do. I had to remind myself I'm built for this. There's absolutely nothing life is going to throw at me that I can't handle. I'm built for this. And so what I want to first of all do is encourage you to understand that this is not about a life of ease. This is about a life of reward. This is not about circumventing the challenges, struggles, and disappointments, outmaneuvering the vicissitudes of life. This isn't about that. This is about making up in your mind that you are going to do whatever it takes to achieve the level of extraordinary in your life, that you are going to exhibit the very idea of phenomenal in your life, that you are going to stand up and go out and do something beyond what people think is possible, because you were designed for that very purpose. You were designed to shake ground. You were designed to explode limitations and parameters that box people in, but you're going to have to stand up and see beyond your moment. You're going to have to stand up and see beyond the situation and the circumstances. You're going to have to stand up and realize that even when it seems like the ones you love the most can't see the exceptional, extraordinary gifting within you, that it does not invalidate the gift. You're going to have to realize that sometimes the ones you want to celebrate you the most can't find it in themselves to do so, but you will have to find someone who is willing to fan your flames. Find you 2 or 3 people who believe in what you're doing at a level that they won't let you quit, that when you're feeling down, they're lifting you up. When you can't see the greatness inside of you, they do. Find that and lean into it. I'm telling you, through this year, I have had the support of people who would not let me forget who I was, who would not let me slip into the coma of dissipated expectations. They wouldn't let me sit up and say, I give up. They kept reminding me, you're remarkable, you're extraordinary. I mean, my male friends and female friends, colleagues, people I work with, clients. I mean, everywhere I looked, it was nothing but positivity flowing towards me. And it let me know, number one, that I had planted seeds, that I had been impactful in the lives of people, and people were returning the love, the favor, the energy, and it was necessary and it was needed. But let me tell you, one thing that I didn't do is quit. And the other thing I did is I woke up every morning and I answered the bell. I think that one of the things that we tend to do is we tend to lay down in the midst of discomfort, and we tend to want to hide and search for a corner of comfort until things get better. No, that's when you wage war. That's when you stand up. That's when you push. That's when you go. That's when you lift. That's when you rise. That's when you fight. Is when everything is moving against you. You don't find comfort in escaping that struggle, because you don't escape it. You find comfort in the knowledge and the understanding that you're built for the battle. And then you go out there. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is you desire, I want to help you. I want to help you get out of stuck. Get out of whatever rut you're in. Get out of that idea that you can't go any further than you've gone. I want to help you rise to meet the level of your potential. I want to help you escape regret. I want to help you get to that point where you can look up and say, I did it. I made it. I have done what I said I was going to do. I want to help you with that. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to point you to the description box. And there are a couple of different ways you can work with me. There are a couple of other offers. But what I want you to do is I want you to make up in your mind that today is the day that I'm going to do something to change my life. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm not going to put it off again. I'm not going to sit up and hope and wish and wait. I'm going to take action. I'm going to be committed. I'm going to be invested in myself. And there are some things that you can do immediately. I want to work with you. I promise you, whatever you decide to do with me, it's going to be worth it times 10. I'm that good. I do what I say I'm going to do. I always do. May not happen at the time I say it's going to happen, but I do what I always say I'm going to do. And I promise you, I will meet you with that same level of commitment in helping you change your life. But you have to start somewhere. So I'm challenging you. Don't look at it and say one day. No, Make today today. Make today that day. I see so many people put off. That's a habit. The more you do it, the easier it is to do. You need to change the habits. Procrastination paralyzes. Procrastination is the thief of time and the thief of opportunities. Stop procrastinating. Take action. You will fool around and look up. You got 86,400 seconds in a day. What you do in that 86.4 is going to determine the outcome of your life. Don't look up and you've wasted so much of your 86.4 that you're living the second half of your life with regret. The final third of your life with regret. Stand up. Square your shoulders. Make a choice. Make a decision. Make something happen. That's my challenge. On that note, I'm out of here, you guys. Have an unbelievable day. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I'm challenging you to do the same thing. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have a good day.